You just don't understand what's happening here. You just don't understand what's happening here. But we're stuck. We're flooded. It was supposed to be an ordinary Thursday in New York, but as evening crashed down, the city that never sleeps plunged into a nightmare it couldn't escape. Rain didn't fall in drops, it slammed in merciless walls. A savage inland storm transformed streets into raging rivers, subways into cascading waterfalls, and cars into desperate vessels adrift through Brooklyn and Queens. In Manhattan, sirens screamed through the thunderous downpour as power sputtered out and basements swallowed whole in minutes. Across the Hudson, New Jersey drowned. Highways vanished under torrents, trees crashed onto vehicles, neighborhoods engulfed by churning muddy floods. This wasn't a hurricane. It wasn't even a tropical storm. It was pure rain. 4 inches in mere hours. Enough to cripple one of the world's mightiest cities. By nightfall, flights grounded to a halt, trains fell deathly silent, and millions stranded in the longest, darkest night imaginable. New York and New Jersey became the latest battlegrounds in America's escalating war against extreme weather. Because tonight, the storm didn't just flood the streets, it laid bare how perilously fragile our cities have become. Music. Just past noon on October 30th, 2025, the radar over the Northeast exploded in furious warnings. Scattered showers morphed into an unstoppable wall of rain barreling from the Appalachian Mountains, charging east to the coast. In minutes, Manhattan's iconic skyline, usually defiant and crystal clear, disappeared behind a blinding veil of water. By 1 p.m., thunder boomed across the boroughs as visibility plummeted to nothing. Rain pounded rooftops and skyscrapers, gutters overflowed in chaos, water surging into subway vents below. The National Weather Service clocked nearly 4 inches across the metro area, a torrent rivaling the worst hurricanes. In Central Park, 1.8 inches crashed down in hours, smashing a record from 1917. At LaGuardia Airport, 1.97 inches obliterated a mark set in 1955. Winds howled past 40 mph, twisting traffic lights, ripping branches from trees, hurling debris through tight streets. Emergency lines lit up with hundreds of frantic calls as water invaded basements, garages, and subway tunnels faster than pumps could fight back. The city's drainage, designed for a bygone era, crumbled under the unannounced assault. By mid-afternoon, New York was submerging in its own deluge, a gleaming metropolis frozen in terror, not by a hurricane, but by the heavens unleashing fury. By late afternoon, the storm had twisted New York City into a labyrinth of flooded chaos and trapped souls. The westbound Belt Parkway in Brooklyn vanished beneath feet of filthy water, guardrails barely peeking through the flood. Drivers who dared push forward abandoned their vehicles, scrambling onto medians as waves slammed doors. Social media erupted with videos of Manhattan avenues roaring like rivers, taxis and trucks swept helplessly in the current. Underground, pandemonium reigned. Water cascaded down stairwells and elevator shafts, filling stations like overflowing tubs. The G-train screeched to a stop between stations. Passengers trapped in pitch black as crews battled rising floods on tracks. Maintenance teams pumped relentlessly, but rain poured faster than drains could cope. Even the city's ancient bones, forged to endure generations of storms, were breaking. Airports turned to mayhem. LaGuardia, JFK, and Newark locked in gridlock, over 700 flights canceled, 1,300 delayed, some by over 4 agonizing hours. Terminals overflowed with stranded travelers under flickering boards where storm alerts erased flight times. Overhead, thunder cracked like artillery over runways. By nightfall, 2 lives lost, both entombed in flooded basements in Brooklyn and Queens. Homes turned to watery graves as water rose too swift to flee. For millions, the city that never sleeps went dark and silent, drowned in storm water, echoing with sirens and the distant throb of helicopters cutting the soaked sky. Across the Hudson River, New Jersey plunged into its own hell. By mid-afternoon, the storm's rage hit Jersey City, Clifton, Secaucus, Toms River, and Little Silver, unleashing a biblical surge that crushed storm drains. Streets erased under waist-deep floods in minutes, winds screaming to 50 sm/bit, shredding trees and power lines. At Newark Airport Station, Northeast Corridor and North Jersey Shoreline trains stalled over an hour as water pooled on tracks. Commuters jammed platforms, staring at immobile trains in the onslaught. South in Woodbridge, a toppled tree severed a power cable, halting all rail between New York Penn and Long Branch. When service crawled back that evening, it limped. Proof a single snap could cripple a region. Downtown Jersey City delivered the storm's most chilling scene. Inside Departed Souls Brewing Company, owner Brian Kabaki captured water exploding from ceilings, swirling across floors, wrecking furniture, sound gear, and ingredients. In 15 minutes, everything submerged, he told media. Outside, cars bobbed past the storefront as neon flickered in the rising tide. Along the coast, Route 3 in Clifton shut both ways after flash floods devoured the road near Broad Street. In Little Silver, the creek exploded its banks, muddy torrents racing down Branch Avenue into homes. Police in Essex and Monmouth counties blasted evacuation orders, rerouting traffic, sealing intersections as water surged. By early evening, over a dozen towns declared emergencies. Under flashing blues and reds, residents clutched porches with flashlights and sandbags, watching floods advance like an invading army. It felt less like weather, more like war. New Jersey drowned, street by street, with nothing but waiting for mercy from the skies. Woo. So, the water is very clearly coming up here. Meteorologists rush to clarify. No hurricane, no nor'easter. A rapid inland beast born in the Appalachians, loaded with tropical moisture barreling northeast. Unlike ocean-bred monsters, this ignited from clashing fronts. Cold northern air slamming humid southern flows, sparking thunderstorms that raged unchecked. As deluge hammered, National Weather Service and Fox 5 New York experts warned these beasts grow more frequent, fiercer, driven by shifting climate. Warmer air hoards more moisture. Forced skyward, it unleashes not rain, but apocalyptic cascades. By early Friday, the worst eased, leaving mud-smeared streets, felled trees, shattered glass. But peril lingered. Wind advisories for all 21 New Jersey counties, gusts to 40 mph into Halloween. Crews shifted from floods to gales, clearing lines, draining crossings, restoring power to thousands in the dark. Yet New York defied surrender. Workers battled through the night, pumping subways, clearing paths. At dawn, the skyline gleamed again, scarred but defiant. In Manhattan's core, the New York City Marathon prep pressed on. Sunday, over 55,000 runners start on Staten Island, storm bridges of Brooklyn and Queens, charge the Bronx, finish in Central Park amid nearly 2 million cheers. After darkness and deluge, the city rises, one stride, one heartbeat. Dawn over the Hudson revealed the storm vanished, but its scars etched deep in the northeast. Mud-caked cars choked Brooklyn and Newark streets, headlights half buried in brown sludge. Sidewalks buried under debris, shattered glass, trash bins, branches, kids' toys ripped away. Subway entrances barred with yellow tape, pumps thundering as millions of gallons drained from tunnels. Morning exposed the devastation's full horror. Neighborhoods isolated. Small businesses, cafes, laundromats, shops, gutted, owners sweeping mud, salvaging scraps. In New Jersey, dozens of roads impassable. Crews restoring power to night-long blackouts. Meteorologists confirmed no link to Hurricane Melissa's Caribbean ruin days prior. A standalone inland strike, screaming that hurricanes aren't needed for destruction in this new era of relentless rain bombs. Climate scientists deliver the grim fact. Warmer air traps more water. Cold front collision dumps it in catastrophe. Not drizzle, disaster at light speed. By Friday evening, skies cleared, winds calmed. But for New York and New Jersey, the roar lingered. Rushing water haunting basements and streets. Storm over, message sinking in. This wasn't a fluke, a preview of America's tomorrow, where everyday storms cripple metropolises. Resilience demands not just rebuild, but radical rethink in a world outpacing us. The storm passed, warning endures. In hours, a mundane rainstorm turned iconic states into flood hell. No hurricane, no name. Proof even titans drown when skies unleash. From Brooklyn basements to Newark's blackouts, it bared more than cracked pipes, a truth we can't dodge. Weather evolves. Floods deepen. Storms rage harder. Natural disaster blurs with human crisis. Yet amid ruin, spirit endures. Neighbors yanking strangers from cars. Firefighters wading chest-deep to save families. Communities scrubbing, rebuilding, vowing again, because that's New York and New Jersey. But this is no mere recovery. A warning carved in water. Ignore it, and the next flood strikes without mercy. If this shook you, don't let it vanish. Like this video. Share it. Someone must see the truth. Subscribe for raw stories from America and beyond. Now, your voice. Are these storms nature's rhythm, or proof our planet shifts faster than we prepare? Every tempest whispers. Are we hearing?